What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT, and I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 4. Review, breakdown, obviously spoiler warning for The Walking Dead show, comics, all that stuff, spoiler warning. Well, Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 4, it's crazy that it's the 4th episode of the 10th season already, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely interesting. It set up some nice things, and I thought it was a very good episode. And overall, I think Season 10 is very good so far. But first, guys, if you can, please hit that subscribe button. It'll really help us out. If we achieve that goal of 100,000 subscribers, it will mean so much to us, so please subscribe today. Well, let's talk about this right off the bat. What? We saw this in the trailer way back in July, and we're like, no way. That's got to be a dream sequence, right? Well, it wasn't. It was an actual kiss. Ezekiel kisses Michonne. Michonne's like, easy there, Tiger. It's okay. But I'm glad that they shut it down and they talk about an alternate universe where they get together in the comics. And I thought Michael Cutlitz did a great job directing. This is one of 2 episodes he directed this episode. And again, he did not write this episode. He just shot it, directed it, and set it up. The writing is the writing, and he did not write it. But overall, I think the writing was fine. It was a story. It set some things up. It was the 4th episode, the halfway point of the first half of Season 10, and Michonne is definitely leaving, one way or another. This is Denai Guerrera's last season. But to me, it's obvious that she's going to get on a boat and go to Oceanside and sail away for some reason. But did you get the hint that Michonne sees that Judith can take care of herself? That she's very smart? That she's cunning, that she's educated, and that she is going to be able to take care of herself when Michonne leaves? Because again, this is Denai Guerrera's last season on the show. That doesn't mean that she can't be reunited with Judith and Rick in the movies, which I hope happens, and it needs to happen in my opinion. We need Michonne back again. But the dialogue with Judith and Michonne clearly shows that Judith is capable to take care of herself, even though she's like 10 years old. In the zombie apocalypse, she can take care of herself. And I love this moment right here when they're cutting down walkers and Michonne looks at her like, yeah, that's my girl. Judith's gonna be all right. And we know she is, or she better be at least, because I love Judith. And I feel like this is Michonne on the boat with newcomer Virgil. We just don't know. We haven't seen Virgil yet. But look at this shirt. The tank top is clearly the same one that Michonne is wearing at the end of Season 10, Episode 4, when Michonne, Judith, Diane, and Luke go to Oceanside. Well, Scott and Marco, I believe as well, go to Oceanside. So if Michonne is going to Oceanside, that's where boats are. Why would she get on a boat and sail somewhere? It only makes sense to go find Rick. Why would she leave Judith and RJ and everything going on here? She is a member of the council. She is a valued member on The Walking Dead with both communities. Why would she just leave? Oh, yes, Luke, you have a question? Well, clearly they highlighted Luke a lot this episode. And that's not really good when they do that on the show. And I just feel like Luke is going to get killed off this season. We have to lose some people, right? We're coming up on Episode 5, and we really haven't lost anyone of significance. We lost Margo this episode, but good riddance. And they highlighted Luke a lot this episode, especially his goodbye. And I just see it like he's not coming back. He's leaving the group here, and he's not coming back. And it sucks because I like Luke. And again, that's just my theory. Hopefully he does come back. But I just see it as like, yep, that's it. Kiss of death. They're highlighting him. He's doing a lot. He's got a cool weapon. He's funny. He's everything you want on the show. He's funny. He's kind of a badass. He's got that humor aspect. He's like the everyday man in the zombie apocalypse. But we'll have to wait and see. Connie, Kelly, Luke, Magna, and Yumiko. Or Miko, as Magna calls her. Well, we found out about their backstory. Yumiko was Magna's lawyer, and I guess she didn't do a great job because Magna still went to jail. No, I'm just kidding. But Yumiko is a character that is the leader, and I'm okay with that, but I believe it's Magna's group, and Magna feels like she's the leader. Well, there can only be one leader. There's only one head coach, or one principal. Well, what's going to happen later on this season with Magna and Yumiko and Ezekiel? I can't wait to find out. But Jerry, gotta love Jerry. But what's up with the tree? Did the Whisperers do it? They had to, right? And it's just way too much of a coincidence if these walkers are coming by, the tree falls down, and it's just way too much of stuff going on that the Whisperers have to be involved. If they're not, it's just weird. But ultimately, what do you think of the episode, guys? I thought it was good. I thought it was very interesting. And did you see this video. I didn't watch the video, but people are sending it to me like, did you see this theory about Sadiq getting killed here? And clearly it didn't happen, but it's just so many things that, you know, the summer of speculation continues on and on and on. There's all these different theories of what's happening, what's going to happen with this character, what's going to happen with that character. But Alden was seen. He didn't really do much. Ezekiel had a bigger part this episode, setting some things up. And we saw a lot of things hinted at potentially happening down the road with Ezekiel, and there's a theory going around that Ezekiel is sick and he's coughing. Well, we'll talk about that in another video, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually goes down. And I do love the theories. I love talking about it, discussing it, but it's just interesting. So the walkers are coming into Alexandria and Hilltop, and there's a lot of walkers, and I still think it's too many walkers, but you know, when in doubt, just throw some walkers in there. And why was Magnus Group the only one fighting outside? Doesn't Hilltop have arrows and bolts and stuff they can fire from the top, from the safe ledge on the inside, taking out walkers? I mean, Luke is surrounded by walkers here with his cool weapon and Magna with her warhammer, but you're like, come on, these two are the only ones really fighting themselves down in the trenches there, and we see Connie, Kelly, and Yumiko fighting alongside them, but why were they the only ones fighting? That's like, whoa, you know, this is a new group. They have to step up and fight there. Where are the arrows being fired from inside Hilltop? It's just a question, and I think it's a valid question. And also, where were the Kingdomers? There's a lot of people in the kingdom, I would assume. But Magna, Yumiko, what's going to be the problem there? Is there a division of power? Can't wait to find out. But Luke was highlighted, like I said before. And I'm not saying he's going to die, but it's a possibility, that's for sure. And he's just one of those actors that I love him in. He was great on the Goldbergs. He's great on this show. And every time I see him in something, I'm like, oh, he's hilarious. That guy is one of those hilarious regular day people. But is his love connection with Jules at Oceanside the kiss of death? When you find love and you get more airtime on this show, that usually means you're gone. But let's talk about Alexandria and Lydia and Gage and Margot and the Seth Green lookalike. And initially I'm like, oh, Margot, yep, I can see your side. But you attack Lydia? Go get a band of people and a group of people and go attack the Whispers, not Lydia. What are you doing? So it's like, we're in trouble here. We have problems with the outside group, but we're going to take it out on Lydia. It has nothing to do with the Whispers. She didn't put people in a Pike lineup. She didn't do any of that. But Margot and the Highwaymen want justice. All right. So taking out Lydia makes sense. Is it going to make you feel better? Good. The problem is still Alpha. The problem is still out there, not inside their walls, right? And I'm okay. That's a story arc. That will probably happen. People, mob mentality, are like, yeah, get her, get her. And I guess it's not the spray paint. We still didn't see who had the red spray paint on the sidewalk. And it was pretty funny when she cut up the rabbit or squirrel, whatever, I guess it was a rabbit, and the blood went on Gage, which was good because he's such a punk. The Whispers are a problem. Silence the Whispers is straight from the comic. The paranoia. Margot being taken out, I'm fine with. It was kind of a weak way to go. I mean, Negan didn't really throw her that hard, but, you know, that's the story. But Lydia being connected with the story arc going forward makes sense because Alpha lied to the Whispers. And all the Whispers have to do is find out that Lydia is still alive. And that's eventually going to happen, right? I wonder if Negan, who's free now, which is awesome, he's free and probably going to the Whispers. I wonder if he spills the beans to Alpha or somebody there that Lydia is still alive. I wonder if they find out that way, because that'd be pretty cool. And if you know the comics, you know that Rick and Negan are connected, and after Negan does a major event in the story, he comes back to Alexandria, and I'm guessing that's going to Daryl. Daryl's going to be the Rick story arc with Negan. It just makes sense. Negan being free and Daryl taking the side of Negan and keeping him alive needs to happen. Daryl being there for Lydia also needs to happen. I like that side because Daryl cares about Lydia, and he should. As for these three, they can go. You know, Margot's gone, so these two can go, that's for sure. But we know that Margot's gone. Could the person that Daryl is punching here be Gage, the Seth Green lookalike, and or Dante? Some people think it's Dante because it's in the infirmary and stuff there, but that just doesn't make sense. As for the council, I know this is from season 9. You know, Michonne wasn't there as Daryl was her proxy. Why would Aaron not be like, yeah, Negan saved my life? That just annoyed me. Negan saved your life. He didn't have to. And Father Gabriel is the deciding vote, but Negan's a free man now, so it doesn't matter. But if you know the comics, that Negan goes to the Whispers and then comes back to Alexandria, will it happen that way? We don't know, because the show is the show and the comic is the comic. But overall, season 10 is very good so far, and I'm loving it. And yeah, season 10, episode 4 had some, hallmark moments and some of these moments and some setup moments, and it's great. One has to have that, because this is Denai Guerrera's last season. So Michonne needs to be connected in so many story arcs and so many good moments in so many big ways, because she's not coming back. So I'm okay with it. I thought it was very good. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. And the song that was sung at the beginning of the episode and the end is Heaven I Know by Gordy, which was pretty cool. And for those interested in my zombie apocalypse book series, I got 10 books available now, and the link to those books is in the description below. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.